stop. Hustle. Look, let's put some money up, you can't make mine stop. I'm hot, nigga, like a pistol off the dime block. Before you change lanes, you should check your blind spot. Cause I'll be right there waiting like a bike cop. With my non-cock, and I'm so hot. All a nigga really need is just one shot. To the dome, you be gone and it's no more. I could kill him going faster with the slow flow. However you want it, I got it in for the low. Come get it, I got it, you got it good, nigga, go. I hustle, I bang, I do it all for the dough. It's all for the dough.
What's going on, All for the Doe family? We got some new content. We going on topics. You know, the topic today is going to be questions that you should ask on the first date. And these people gonna keep it 100. Like Nip said, they gonna what? Keep it 100, nigga, no fake it. They gonna tell y'all what they feel is the question you need to ask when you go on these first dates with people. Hey. What's going on, All for the Doe? Did I give you a card? I didn't give you a card. Here you go. Okay. So it's called All for the Doe. You type in All for the Doe on YouTube. Okay. No spaces. A instead of an E for the in the episodes that come up. Okay. So today we are talking about the topic is your questions you should ask on a first date. So tell them your name.
Teresa.
So we have Teresa here. And we're gonna ask Teresa from a woman's point of view, what should be the questions you should be asking on the first date.
Okay.
So what you got?
I want to know about their home life.
So what do you mean home life? What do you mean by
what they do for hobbies? What do they own a home? Do they live in an apartment? What that home is like? Like it's like multiple bedrooms. Is it in the country? Is it in the city? For hobbies, I really just want to know if we're compatible, because I think you should want to do some hobbies with your partner, but not necessarily do everything with your partner. I want to know what their relationship is with their family. I think that's really important.
So when you said the home, apartment or house. So if they had an apartment, is that a deal breaker?
No, not necessarily, but if, like, let's say they're 35 and they're still living with roommates and they can barely afford like $400 room for rent a month,
yeah.
that's gonna be a little bit of a red flag, right?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, but that's a low-key way to figure that out.
So what if he owns a house but he have roommates? Because maybe he's nice and he's helping out.
That's not necessarily a big deal, but that definitely will probably be an issue down the line, because you're not going to want to share your home with somebody's friends.
Gotcha.
You know, it's...
Okay. So if somebody came up, so say y'all was talking for a week and then you finally found out that this person has roommates, would you be like, I don't think we could talk? Would you ghost them? Or how would you?
I would want to know more about the situation first.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, if they're living in their parents' basement, that's going to be... I would want to know more about that situation.
So what if they just there to help the parent out?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they figure like, shit, I'm rent free, shit, give us more money to travel, and you be like, no.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah. I would be like, no, for sure.
Okay, so we got to find out how the home is. That's a good one. Nobody said anything about home. They always come up with asking about the kids, how many kids, and dealing with, baby daddies, the
That's
guys.
Definitely important.
So,
for sure.
So home is first, right?
Yeah, I want to know, basically, are they responsible? And that's a huge responsibility that I don't want to end up fronting for someone.
Okay, so how would you find out if they're responsible or not? Like fully 100%, responsible.
asking questions like that, because I think that if you can be indirect about figuring that out, that's going to be the best possible thing. If you're going to ask them like, hey, do you figure you're a very responsible person, everyone's going to want to answer yes to that, and they're going to give you the best hypothetical answer possible. But if you can ask indirect questions, right, like the baby daddy situation, like how often do you see your kids? That's what I would ask. I wouldn't ask.
Yeah, because if he be like, oh, I try to get my kids every day, or the court told me I can only have them every other week, then I have to get them every other week. So what would you go by if he said that?
I would I guess I would also follow up with, are you behind on your child support? So
Damn, that's a good one though. That's a good one though. Because if you're behind on your child support, we can't be getting pulled over and I gotta bail you out of jail.
Yeah.
You got some good ones. So they didn't say none of these. They didn't say none of these
that
questions.
Would be one of my first questions about that, to be honest with you.
If you behind on child support.
Yeah. And I would want that person to be completely honest with me.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with child support.
Yeah.
But what if they wait for a while to really tell you the truth, and then y'all already like connected for about 2 months, and then you be like, you behind.
I would leave.
Would you?
Yeah.
Even if you love that person, if you fell in love with him for 2 months, everything was great, but he just lied to you about the child support, you would leave?
Yeah.
Man, that's
thing to lie about.
Y'all think Rick James died? That's Rick James right there. That's cold-blooded.
Well,
Wow.
Think about it. You're
Yeah, but y'all 2 months into it, you know y'all love each
you're
other.
hanging up a single mom to dry. Like, you're not providing for your own children.
Yeah,
You're not responsible enough. Get your shit together. Sorry, it's not a good time for you to date anybody. You're taking me out on dates, but you're not paying your child support. That's a problem.
Yeah, and you got it. That's the part of what you said, responsibility.
Yes. So you got your priorities all messed up right now.
So we at your destination. Do you want to give anybody shout out, bye to anybody?
Just my sister, Jamie.
Okay. Talk to you later, Jamie. Hey, what's going on, all for the Doe family? Let me know your name, baby.
Michael.
We got Michael here, and he gonna give us some tips, the questions you should ask on the first dates. So what you got, Pimp?
Well, you should always ask, what do you do for work? I think that's a big one.
So how would you know if they telling the truth? What if they sit there and lie to you?
Well, you gotta look at their body language and stuff too.
Okay.
If they're making eye contact.
Okay.
Overall just observe their, how do I describe it? Just observe them in general.
Okay, so turn there. Oh no, we good. So what would be next that somebody should ask? So they ask them about work, right?
What are your future plans
Okay.
in the next 5 years, I would say?
So what would be a deal breaker for you if you went out on the first date? What would be a deal breaker where you'd be like,
Well, personally with me, I like my woman to be working. So if she don't have a job at the time, I'm sorry, I can't go out with you.
Gotcha. So say it's something you got like this. What's a real deal breaker where you'd be like, nah, it ain't no coming back from it other than a job? Like say y'all already conversating, the conversation's good, the food good, and then it comes out to something that you really don't like that she do or did. Would you just stop the date then, or would you finish the date later on, or would you ghost her?
It depends. I've always believed in second chances, but the way she's talking, responding to me, that's a deal breaker. I want someone to give full attention.
Yeah.
Instead of just okay.
Okay. So would kids matter?
No, I'm fine with kids.
So how many kids? If she got 7 kids?
I'm gone. Maybe 1 or 2. I don't mind helping with the kids, but I'm not gonna be here.
Okay, so say she got, because how old are you?
20.
So say she got 2 kids, but she 18. Was that a deal breaker? Is that a problem?
Yeah,
or
it's
what?
a little too young.
But she got a good job though.
You know what?
And she cute.
Then
She got a big booty.
We'll have to revisit that story.
And she not using the BBL.
You know,
ain't that what that is? The BBL.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't using the BBL.
Oh wow. You know, I think I like my woman like that. You know, at least they have to have a job though.
What with the BBL?
Oh no.
Oh no, you said she like your. Oh, you talking about with having a job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're putting 50-50 in the relationship, I don't care what.
So once you're in a relationship, right? Say you and this girl get in a relationship. So when do it start to be no more 50-50 and it's more of like 90-10? You know what I'm saying? Where you pay for most of the stuff and, you know, she's shitting.
To me, if you prove your loyalty to me, that's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
If you're loyal, then I'll start opening up more and doing more stuff for our relationship.
Gotcha. So what else? So what else is a good tip? What about, because everybody I asked, y'all down and say the same thing, but nobody asked about the person character. And I mean, far as like, because you know, like everybody seem like they act like they're crazy, or you find out some people is crazy, and you be like, nah, that motherfucker crazy.
Right.
So when do you ask, like, hey, you know, you taking anything, or do you just wait till you go to their house and you look in their medicine cabinet and shit?
You know, yeah, I think I would wait. You know, I don't want to judge a book by its cover, you know.
No, it ain't about its cover. If a motherfucker crazy, the motherfucker crazy. There ain't no cover for that
Right.
goddamn book. It's gonna say crazy on the front of that motherfucker. The first page is gonna say crazy. Second page is gonna say crazy.
You know, I think it all depends on body language, showing how their body language is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You saying the body language. I guess you got to really read the body, because some people you don't think that's crazy in the motherfucker.
Like if they're chill, you know, chill people could be crazy. Like
the quiet ones.
Yeah, the quiet ones.
Yeah, them quiet ones you got to watch out for.
You got to read body language, and then you'll.
Yeah, especially the one that talk to themselves in the third person.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this motherfucker don't think Victoria crazy. This motherfucker, bitch, you is Victoria. You don't think Victoria crazy.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out the tone of voice and stuff too.
So if it go up aqua.
Yeah.
Like this, like, yeah, I seen you out at the store the other day.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me you was going there.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're pretty much crazy. You're a crazy bitch. So what else, man? What else? Just those?
Yeah.
And no, those are good ones. Everybody says those. Everybody said those. I was just figuring my thing you would ask. I just think I would probably ask, is you bipolar? Is you taking it? What are you taking?
You know,
I need to know what you taking.
I even thought of that.
Because see, you can go out on a date with a motherfucker for one time. And if they crazy or bipolar, shit, and you don't call them no more, they're gonna be like blowing your phone up. Oh, you can't call nobody?
Oh, another thing is asking for money, like demanding money and asking for money.
Oh, you mean like as you dating?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on how many dates, right?
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't mind paying for
I'm
stuff.
just assuming.
It's like, don't keep asking for money and stuff when I know you got your own money.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. Come on, y'all. But I mean, yeah. I heard people saying it's crazy trying to date these days because you don't know who you run into, and I just feel everybody just need to get off that internet. Y'all need to just go out and meet people. You know what I'm saying?
See, people too stuck up in their phones and stuff.
Yeah, because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Back in the days, it was hard. You had to go places to
I'm
meet
20
people.
years old, so it's kind of hard for me to get out my shell, you know, because most guys haven't treated women right, so they got their guard up and stuff.
Man, that's dope as hell. What is that?
It's a little thing you can go right up there, like right to the top instead of walking all the way there.
Well, it's at the top.
It's just another shorter way, easier way to get up to the top.
Is zoo shit up there or what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to come to the zoo. Yeah, I ain't been in the zoo in a long time.
If you want to come,
you got a discount?
I can bring 4 people in for free a day with 8 children.
Oh shit, you got a discount, man. You should be selling your shit. I don't be saying that on there. I'll be selling your shit. I'll be slanging like, hey, go on and get the family. I let all y'all in for $50.
Man, I wouldn't mind that. Whew.
I do that
For
shit.
2 people, it's $40.
I do that shit. Oh shit! I be like, hey, you got the group? All y'all come together. I just get the motherfuckers. You come. All y'all gonna come here. Everybody give me $5. I got your motherfuckers in
Man,
there.
I would do that too.
You want to give anybody a shout out, man, before you go?
Actually, yeah. I got my own page.
Oh, do you? You got a YouTube?
Yeah.
So why you didn't say something at the beginning?
I don't know.
Well, go ahead and tell them what you got, dog. What you do?
I do like food reviews, vlogs, just.
Oh man, hit us up. What we got? Tell us.
I don't know if you can see it, but.
Which one? The top right there?
Yeah,
right
it's
there?
Mr. Krabs.
There it is, right there, y'all.
I'm looking to collab with people around the city.
Yeah, man. Just get on my stuff. Hit me up, man, and then put your stuff on there. You know, Miss Krabs, whatever.
All right, yeah, I definitely will. But yeah, make sure you follow.
So you want to say bye to anybody?
You know what? Have a good day, everybody. I got a cool driver, by the way.
So,
There we go.
first let them know your name.
My name is Jagger.
Jagger.
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, this All for the Dough. We gonna talk about the questions you should ask on a first date. Oh, that right there. See the accident?
Oh yeah.
The
Well, I
questions.
think for sure, people tend to, and nowadays I can understand that being a very relevant, situation because everything.
See, I'm trying to get over, buddy. I got my blinker on, goofy. It was
everything
on.
is so. It's hard to know when people are really in for things for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Everybody want a quick fix, and when you going out on a date with someone, I was always taught to believe that a date is just that. You get to know a person.
Yeah.
You agreed to come out and meet with me, whether that be walk in the park or whether that be a dinner, a brunch, whatever the type of date it is.
Yeah.
You agreed to do it. So that lends to the fact that you're curious and you want to know something more about me. That's why you agreed to do it.
To on a date. So what you're saying is, like, we'll say, for instance, somebody, man, we'll say you met somebody at a coffee shop.
Yes.
So if you met somebody at a coffee shop and you was like, okay, let's go out on a date. So, which y'all probably had conversations over the phone, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So even if it's in person or on the phone, what questions you should be asking? People should be asking other people.
I think, for me personally, that's what I have to go on. I want to put it back to them. It's not so much of questions, but just have an open dialogue. What are you about?
Yeah.
Why did you agree to come on this date?
Okay.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for something, or you just want to just say you went out? Are you looking for someone that you can get to know over a period of time?
Like if it's gonna be a long term or is it gonna be short term?
Yeah, is this something that, we like each other, obviously we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about where you come from. What are your belief systems?
Look, I don't mean to cut you off. Look, my man in the back, he got his phone up just to record and take pictures of this.
Oh my God.
That's crazy, ain't it?
See, that's what I'm saying. Everything is everywhere. So you have to really know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Oh wow. They jacked up that car.
Yeah, they did.
So that's just how I feel about it. What is your relationship goal?
Yeah.
What interests you? What are you looking for in a person? I know that's a loaded question and it tends to be very, cliche.
Yeah.
But why are you here?
Why are you single? See, that's my thing, because I feel like this. People, everybody they talk bad about the other people, and then they seem like they tell good about them. Now, there's a reason why y'all broke up. If why did he leave you if you so this and that you claim to be, or why did she leave you if you saying that, oh, I did this, I did that, and you sound like it was so good, but she had to leave you.
Yeah, because there's underlying things in the relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer in after you sit there, what's your name? Do you believe even if you believe in God or not?
Yeah.
Do you believe in prayer? Do you believe in family dynamics? Do you believe in family, the concept of family?
Okay.
Because I'm a type of person, You know, words are words,
Gotcha.
but it's your behavior.
Okay.
You know, and you have to look at people when you talk to them. How is their body language? Is it matching up to the conversation? You know, are you sitting there talking with someone and their gaze all over the place and they're not looking at you?
All right.
You know, that's something you should be. You know, why? You know, when you're talking to me,
It should
you know,
be eyes on me.
Looking all over.
Yeah.
And you need to be looking at the person that you're out with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me.
And it was another guy that did yesterday about the same thing, and he was talking about body language.
Yeah.
He was like, when certain people talk, you look at their body language will tell a lot.
You tell an awful lot.
You know.
Because we have mastered the word. You know?
Yeah, the
People
word,
have
yeah.
mastered
Speaking
how to
and
get
yeah.
someone to believe what
Manipulate,
they're
yeah.
saying is true. And it
Gotcha.
doesn't necessarily have to be. But just your gestures.
Okay.
You know, do you like to drink? You know, are you a social drinker? You know, do you smoke weed?
Yeah.
You know, are you looking to have, you know, a family someday? Or where are you at with your exes? You know, or do you still interact with them?
Yes.
You know, these
See,
are
those are real good questions.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody came up with that. Do you still interact with your exes? And that's a good question
Yeah.
right there, bro.
and
That's a real good question.
See, and
right
I've
there.
been around a long time, and I know that I was involved with someone for about 6 years.
Yeah.
One of my exes called, and then that turned into a big argument.
Okay.
You know, why is this person, you know, calling you after all this time? But it's hard to help people to understand that sometimes your exes can be your friend without the emotional attachments and all the physical stuff.
Yeah, but see, that's harder for that new person that come into your life.
That is what happens. And you can meet a good person, but you're too hung up on what you did lost or how you were treated when that situation didn't work out.
Yeah.
We bring all that stuff with us, but the person that you're dealing with that's new,
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to spend a whole hour, 2 hours talking about how bad you were treated, because it has really nothing to do with me. Everyone has to stand on their own merit.
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying, you know, your body language and how you're interacting with the conversation tells a lot if you're interested in being here or not.
Okay.
You know,
Now,
one of these people, I'm going to the bathroom, you don't see him anymore. You know, that type of stuff. It does happen.
So if you having a nice conversation with a young lady or whatever, and say she's got her eyes on you, she's doing everything she's supposed to be doing, what's a deal breaker? What is a deal breaker like?
For me would, you know, it would be like,
would it be if she had 4 kids?
Well, if she had 4 kids?
Yeah, would it
No,
do it matter
not
with
necessarily.
kids?
It all depends on, you know, again, are these children got different fathers? So are you just hopping from, you know, guy to guy?
Yeah.
And then you know, that relationship turns into birth of a child.
Yeah.
And then that guy's gone. And what tends to happen from what I have read and what I've seen in all of my family and my friends, why is it that when people are together and the girl becomes pregnant, then the relationship sours? It's like it goes north for some reason. And I've never understood that.
I think sometimes one of them didn't want the kid, but it happened, so they like, well, I gotta take care of my responsibilities. You know, because you get some to say, well, we ain't supposed to be having no kids right now, but she got pregnant, and they blame that woman for getting pregnant, or sometimes blame that man.
So that's the thing that me and my sister was just talking about that yesterday, because you know, her and I have 6 sisters, so I've learned a lot about females along the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what gets me is that you're dating somebody and you then moved in together and all that. And then the female becomes, you know, pregnant, and then there's always problems all the time. And then the relationship falls apart. But yet you bring a child into the world, and you're not on good terms with that child's mother. I've never understood that. So my question would be: is that how do you deal with conflict? How do you
Okay.
get your feelings out?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm
too.
saying?
These are good questions. These are real good questions to ask somebody on the first date, or even if you're just talking the first time on the telephone.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. And even if they answer it that one time, the next week ask the same question,
Ask
see
them
if you get
again.
the same answer.
Because I've been asked that question, and my mother would always tell us is that until you see a person upset, you really don't know them.
Yeah.
Because when we're upset, we tend to go into another type of a person.
Yeah, that's when
what I
the
mean?
real you come out.
And so how you act when you're upset, this is how you're gonna be.
Yeah.
You're gonna fly off the handle at the first sight of a disagreement.
Yeah.
You're gonna start yelling and screaming and carrying on. I'm going out and all that kind of stuff.
See,
and a lot of times that's a setup.
But see, sometimes people don't get that until a little later into the relationship when they get that different vibe from somebody. Sometimes it just don't happen suddenly. It might be 4 months down the road, but you already committed your time, your feelings into this relationship, and now you change like this because of this.
And I understand that we want to put our best foot forward when we meet new people. I get it. But then back in the 80s and the early 90s, Def Comedy Jam was a big thing back in the days. Martin Lawrence and Dion and all those crazy guys, Earthquake and some more, and all the all the comedians that are older now, but they were young then.
Yeah.
And I remember Martin Lawrence was talking about his date, and they were getting along really well whenever they talked on the phone, and then when he met this person and the lady in person, they were at the dinner table, and then she just went off, and so he said, "Where's the person that I was talking to? Who are you?" Yeah. Because she showed a different side of her.
Oh, that's when he's like, "Yeah, bring that mother."
You know what I mean? So that's just some of the stuff.
But see, this
that I would ask is I'm really big on communicating, but you have to be able to talk to a person and we're going to have difficult times.
But
It's automatic.
This how I feel. I know they always say you got to make a first impression. Everybody say a first impression at a job. I understand that. First impression when you do this. I feel when you going out on your first date, everybody try to make that first impression. And then when you see it that second, third time, the fourth time it's not the same thing. I feel when you going on a date, don't make no first impression. Be you.
Be who you are.
If you loud, be loud.
Be who you are.
If you digging your teeth when you eat, you digging your teeth. So they know this is you from the beginning.
Be who you are.
If you curse, if you're quiet,
all your quirks.
Yep.
You put them out there, then that gives them an opportunity to say, you know what, this is.
If you're
I could rock with that. That's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that, and then you move further down the road, then all of a sudden you start digging in your ass, and then it's like, where does this come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Then you got a problem.
And that's why I'd always go back to they say, be that 100% person, be real to yourself.
Amen.
So if you go out, if you cough a lot, digging your nose or whatever, you do that, and when people see that's you, they gotta accept you. If they don't, they move on.
Because
you move on to the next
one. Real, and I know that the word
real
authentic gets overused nowadays.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do. Be who you are. Yeah. So for me, for example, I do. Most of us would like beautiful things. I want to be dressed well. I like accessories. I do. I like to wear my diamonds. And I just this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
And you need to be aware of this is how I like to present myself. And not that I'm out here trying to flash what I have or any of these kind of things.
But when I dress up, this is what I wear.
This is what I do.
Yep.
And then because you start, feeling for someone.
Yeah.
And then you even go further down the road and you end up marrying these people or living with these persons. And then all of a sudden, what you're spending your money on is a problem.
It's a problem when I've been doing it before I got with you.
This is what I've been doing ever since I could take care of myself.
Yes.
All that stuff needs to be put on the table.
Yeah.
Because that's who you're dealing with.
And I think relationships work out a lot better because now you can say, I knew this what you did from day one when we went on a date. This what you did. And I think a lot of people's lives will go a lot better. I think everybody, you know, just like a lot of women, I feel like this. I know a lot of women want to look beautiful and they feel that the beauty, you know, everybody wants somebody beautiful. But y'all got to understand, you know, I was raised like this. My uncles always told me, what look good to you ain't always good for you.
That's what my pops
So my thing is,
us.
when women, y'all put on all this makeup and put this hair in to make it seem like you got long hair, seem like you covering up your stars with your makeup,
and
that
all this kind of stuff.
You hiding.
You're hiding the real you.
Exactly.
Because you know what? That reminds me of that episode off of Living Color. When he picked a girl up at the club and took her home.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it wasn't Sinead, put up the legs
and all that.
Yeah.
What was it?
That was in Living Color.
Marie something or another.
Yeah, but you just got to be real to yourself, man, because true enough, us guys lie. But I feel a woman, when you come with the long hair like it's yours, you got the eyelashes, you got the makeup turned on like it's yours, then I feel you come into the relationship or you come into the first date lying, because that's not the real you.
You are. And I think that, you know, women, and I have 6 sisters, you know, you got to be you. You fix yourself up, but you don't have to go and present a fake person, because all that stuff is bought. That's not who you really are.
Go ahead.
Peace out, brother, and thank you so much for the conversation.
No problem. Thank you.
Very inspiring. Thank you.